Today's story is titled, They Won't Stop Peeking at Me, by employee Fancy3537. The link to the story is in the description below. Please enjoy. Something is wrong. I can't trust anyone, and I think I'm being targeted. I don't know who's real anymore. I've seen the way they look at me. I might be the only one left. I woke up like any normal day. I had to get up and get ready for work. I rinse off in the shower, throw on some business attire, and head downstairs. I still live with both of my parents, and I was excited because I could smell breakfast cooking. My mom makes the best breakfast. I could smell the fresh eggs and bacon. They gave me a place to stay, but normally didn't do much to take care of me. It wasn't odd of them to cook breakfast, just nice. I discovered both of them in the kitchen. My father was sitting at the table reading a newspaper. He sat content, eyes glued to the print. My mother buttered toast in a delicate rhythm. "Hey, good morning. Thanks for making breakfast," I said cheerfully, standing at the edge of the kitchen. "Of course, honey. Anything for our little man," my mother chirped. She continued working.
"Our little man,"
my father chuckled, smiling proudly, echoing her, eyes still attached to the paper. I now faced away from them, trying to finish getting ready before breakfast was done. I wanted to be able to eat quickly so I wouldn't be late for work. I leaned into a small mirror on the wall reflecting the kitchen, adjusting my collar and tie. I rolled my eyes at the thought of being called little man. They know how hard I've been working to move out and start my life. Sometimes I can't tell they actually take me seriously or not. As I sat there finishing my adjustments, I noticed something. Two things in the reflection. First, my father. He was peeking at me over his newspaper. Not peeking, like glancing up at me. He was peeking, as if he was hiding, watching me from behind an imaginary wall. The placement of his hands on the newspaper was incorrect. They gripped it from the top, like he was balancing his weight on it. I stopped. I glanced quickly at my mother. She was doing something similar in the cabinet, sitting in it, like a child playing hide and seek. Only the corner of her face was visible. A wave of confusion overtook me. I turned my attention away from the mirror and whipped my head back at them, unsure of what I had just seen. It felt surreal when I had seen them doing exactly what they were doing before. Nothing had changed. Had I imagined it? Like seeing something in your peripheral that isn't actually there. It had to be. I wasn't crazy. "Is something wrong, honey?"
"Is everything all right?"
They both dropped what they were doing. They looked at me, worried. They looked deeply worried for some reason. "Yeah, I'm fine. Why?" They looked at each other.
"Oh, well, you look spooked,"
exclaimed my dad, both of them chuckling. "Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought I saw something in the backyard. Just my imagination," I lied. They kept chuckling softly. "Hey guys, actually I'm running kind of late. I think I'm gonna have to skip breakfast. I'm really sorry. I'll be back in time for dinner." I lied again. I should have thought of a better excuse, but at this point, I was kind of freaked out. I didn't feel normal anymore. I just wanted to leave. "Oh no! Well, hurry, honey. You can't be late," my mother said urgently, in the same worried tone as before. It almost sounded sarcastic now, like it was forced. Their eyes flickered to the side, and then back at me in an instant. They looked at the clock simultaneously. The anguished emotion on their face never changed. I didn't start work for another hour. Alright, love you guys. I hurried away to the door. I grabbed my coat and keys on the way out. I had this unnerving feeling that they still wanted to watch me, but they couldn't. I could hear them rustling in the kitchen, murmuring. I shut the door behind me. As I sat in the car, I stopped for a sigh of relief. I buckled up and turned on the defrosters. I took a deep breath. The warm air satiated my cold and anxious shiver. I regained my calm. I pulled out of the driveway and noticed the layer of ice accumulating on the back windshield was too thick to see through. I break it off using the back wipers. Now glancing in the rearview mirror to see if I had regained vision, I saw it again. The curtains in the front of the house were cracked open in 2 places. I think they were peeking at me. My heart began racing. What? Why? It didn't make any sense. Do they think I was up to something? Do they think I'm on drugs? Are they testing me? Something about it felt sick. Like they were fucking with me, but not in a funny way. Like I wasn't a part of the joke. It made my skin crawl. The drive to work sucked. I drove like a drunk trying to stay between the lines. I couldn't take my eyes off the road. I was too shocked at what had just occurred. I stared blankly, processing. When I got to work, everything seemed normal at first. The morning pressed on, and I wanted to forget about how strange the interaction was earlier. The way they were looking at me, the feeling it gave me. I talked to my normal clients, my normal coworkers, and my normal boss. No one was looking at me like a fucking alien. It made me wonder, what was it about me that made my parents look at me that way? With such insincerity. I shuddered. It was lunch now. I got cafeteria food and ate in the rec room. Sandwich, crackers, juice. It wasn't much, but I didn't have a chance to pack lunch. I sat alone. I didn't want to strike up unnecessary conversation. My mood was off and I talk to people for a living, so any break from conversation I can get is always appreciated. I finished eating and headed to the bathroom to relieve myself before returning to work. It looked empty inside. The bathroom is pretty small. Cold, sterile LEDs lit the interior. Tile decorated the floor and walls. I hear a cough from inside one of the stalls. I look underneath to see if I can recognize the shoes. It's Mark. Hell of a guy. We could sit and talk for hours about nonsense and have a good time. Unfortunately, we had some beef over a girl a couple years back. Her name was Sarah. She was my best friend. I always wanted to be more than that, but it never went anywhere. I just don't think she was ever as interested as I was. That's when Mark came along, and she was head over heels. It sucked, and tore us apart for a while, but I'm not one to hold a grudge. We worked it out. I was never as close as with either of them as I once was, but that's life. Hey, what's up, Mark? Are you fucking off in here? I said jokingly. Yeah, laugh it up, bud. He chimes in. I'm taking a shit. What do you want from me? We both chuckled. Yo, you want to grab some beers later? They're on me, 'cause I love ya. He jokes back. I thought about it for a second, and figured it'd be a good idea to take the edge off after my fucked up morning. It was nice of him to ask. Yeah, man. I was hoping you'd ask. I could use a few drinks. I don't really want to go home right after work. Me neither. I've been having problems with Sarah. She's been a bit of a bummer lately. I got some relief. At least I'm not the only one that wanted to vent. Oh, really? That sucks, man. I hope you two are doing alright. I tried to sympathize. You'll have to tell me about it later.
Oh, I will.
He trails off, chuckling but annoyed. I glanced up and down in the mirror as I spoke to him. I'm washing my hands now, contemplating if I mention the thing about my parents. He'd probably just tell me I'm seeing things, right? Or that I'm crazy? What other rational response would you have to someone telling you that? Finally, having built the courage to mention the story of my parents, I looked over at his stall in finality. I couldn't see his legs under the stall anymore. I looked up. He was looking at me over the top of the stall, hanging on it, peeking over it. His knuckles practically broke under the pressure. I froze. I stared in the reflection. "Hey, Mark?" I nervously laughed. It was bizarre. "What, my parents, I trailed off. I couldn't think of what to say. I couldn't see his full expression, but his eyes looked filled with contempt. My heart began racing now. I could feel my adrenaline spike. I didn't understand why he was looking at me like that, the same way my parents were looking at me. I whipped around and raged. I was ready to tear the hinges off the door and kick his ass. I turned, lunging at the door with ferocity. I grabbed him by the shirt and threw him to the floor. I wasn't sure if I was going to hurt or interrogate him. Part of me wanted to know why he was looking at me like that, and part of me didn't care. I stood with my fist raised above him, ready to strike, when I noticed his expression. He looked unbothered by the fact that I just attacked him. He just looked concerned. "Hey man, is everything alright?" He examined my face. I was covered in cold sweat. I looked unwell. "Is everything alright with you?" I snapped back. "Well, I mean, it was. Why'd you push me down?" He asked defensively, protecting himself. It made no sense to me. "What? Don't be a dumbass. You were doing the weird shit." "What? I just asked if you wanted to hang out later." "Sorry." He looked puzzled. At this moment, I realized I couldn't explain further why I was mad at him. Mark wasn't any danger to me. What if I was just crazy? Did that ever just happen? He didn't seem to have any idea of what I was talking about. He didn't seem like he wanted to harm me. He just seemed worried. I got up and helped pick him off the floor. "Sorry, man. I've just been having an off day. I thought you were pressing me. I'll make it up to you. Beer's on me later instead if you want." I gave him a friendly pat. My mind was spinning. Deep down I knew I couldn't go out with Mark later. I couldn't trust him anymore. He agreed, and I quickly left the restroom. Why was this happening? Why was he looking at me like that? The rest of the shift didn't really matter anymore. I was working on autopilot at this point. I was too scared of all the weird shit that was happening to care about the clients. Fuck Mark and my parents, and anyone else that would look at me that way. I definitely didn't want to get a beer with them. I didn't want to see my parents. I couldn't understand what it was about the way they were looking at me that made me feel like a freak. Why were they doing it when I wasn't facing them? I sat contemplating the rest of my shift. Was it worth asking them? I don't want to seem crazy, but I can't tell if I'm the problem or not. Maybe that's the reason they're playing this fucked up joke. When it was time to clock out, I left work immediately and sat in my car. I think I needed to call Sarah. I wasn't sure who I could trust anymore, but I knew her better than almost anyone else. I didn't really have any close friends. Maybe she could tell me what was wrong with Mark, or give me a place to stay for the night so I could figure things out. It might be odd to call her out of the blue, but she knows I'd never ask anything of her if it wasn't important. It was worth a shot. "Hey, Sarah?" "Hey, what's up? Why are you calling so late? Is everything okay?" She sounded confused. "Yeah, sorry. I was wondering if you'd be able to meet up. I need to talk to you about Mark. He can't find out, though. I don't know what will happen if he does." She could hear the panic in my voice. "Oh, okay. Why can't he find out? What are you even talking about?" Now she just sounded off-put. Yeah, that definitely sounded odd. I resorted to begging. "Listen, I need your help just this once. Please, I'll owe you one. Whatever you need." She paused for a second. "All right, whatever. You could stop by my place for a little." I thanked her and was on my way. As I was driving, I kept checking my rear view. It was dark, but even in the shadow of the streetlights, I could see them peeking at me. They were watching me. I didn't know what they wanted. I didn't know why they kept doing it behind my back. It felt like I was being targeted. I sped up. I even circled the block a few times before I stopped at Sarah's house. I quickly ran inside and made sure no one was watching. "Hey, what the fuck? Are you alright? Why are you running? You're freaking me out." Sorry. Let me explain." A few moments passed as I catch my breath. I know this is gonna sound insane, but something fucked up has been happening. It happened with my parents, and it happened with Mark. It happens with people on the street. Whenever I turn my back, they peek at me in these weird, fucked up ways. I don't know what they want. You need to believe me. I don't know what to do." I could tell she didn't believe me, though. She thought I was making it up, that I was crazy and she wanted me to get out. I could see the pity and disinterest in her face. "They're peeking at you. Who cares?" she asked, as if confused by my stupidity. "No, it's the way they're peeking at me. It's like a fucked up version of them. They hide in weird ways, do things you wouldn't expect. It scares me. I think they want something from me, but I don't know how to give it to them. It's like they want to take something from me." "Right. What could you possibly have that they want? And why would they peek at you?" "I don't know," I replied quietly. "So, explain to me then. How do you know they're peeking at you if they're always behind you?" She had a point. "I don't, but you have to believe me. I've seen it. I saw Mark in a bathroom mirror at work, and my parents in a mirror at home. I saw people doing it on the way here. The way they looked at me was awful." "Did you see them in the rear view, since they're always behind you?" "Yeah." "Well, stop looking in mirrors all the time if it scares you then, dumbass." She was amused. She didn't know what it felt like. She thought it was a joke. She told me what I needed to hear, though. Not the truth, but the answer to my problem. Finally, a wave of clarity washed over me. The mirrors. I knew what I had to do now. I couldn't see them all the time, but I knew they were there still. Always peeking at me, judging me, trying to take from me. If I didn't know any better, I'd think I owed them. But it was them who owed me. I wanted peace. They had to pay.